will be sharing with us actually tips and tactics to help you stay physically and mentally healthy. So stay tuned, stay here with us because this is going to be really exciting. Maeghen, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's kind
Yeah.
of a good day to talk about health and wellness and where we're finding ourselves right now and the changes in the pandemic and the changes in our new guidelines and lockdown and things like that. So it's going to be a pretty honest discussion about
Yeah.
how we're feeling and what we can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Excited to have you on this episode, Maeghen. We'll kick it here right away. So, what are some things, Maeghen, that people can do, like you said, with the new restrictions, new lockdown, with our mental health, and as we are still in this pandemic and getting sort of in newer rules with stricter restrictions, what are some things we can do to stay healthy?
What I've had to kind of think about is movement has been such an important part of my mental health. Like I am so cranky and so tired and so unsettled if I'm not moving. And it's starting to get colder outside. Gyms are like really tricky to have access to. And right now with little kids, it's increasingly more difficult. They're not in any of the recreational sports right now. They're not allowed to go and have play dates. So some of the options that we've sort of come up with is just kind of figuring out what we could do outdoors and indoors. So outdoors, it's like finding ice to go skating, finding hills to go tobogganing. Like when I was a kid, especially during this pandemic for my mental health, is just thinking about what things like made me super happy and got me out of my own way as a kid. And
Mhm.
sometimes just grabbing a sled and barreling down a hill laughing and bailing and having races and things like that just kind of switched my head around. It got me the fresh air that I needed. If you're tobogganing and you can wear 7 layers of clothing, it's not that big of a deal. If you're going grocery shopping, it's a pain in the butt, but it's the sense of like playing. It's playing as if you're 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 years old again. And when I was younger in the winter, yeah, it was tobogganing, it was skating, it was snowball fights, it was all those kind of things. And even as an adult, going for a walk has been amazing. Going for a light run has been amazing. We live really close to the Glenmore Reservoir, and just the peaceful stillness, being around water and a pond, has been a huge thing. And then for indoors, one of my favorite things ever to do is literally kitchen dance parties. And if you have YouTube or if you have like a cordless speaker, like Bluetooth, anything, what we'll do is we'll put on music videos from YouTube of like all my little boy's favorite songs and then all my favorite songs and any song that has dance moves that goes along with it. Like, you know what? I will do the Thriller dance forever. I will do the Napoleon Dynamite dance forever. I will copy like every Backstreet Boys, like everybody dance moves like for hours and hours and hours and hours. And I'm finding that like thinking outside the box with your movement and with joy and humor and laughter and not taking yourself too seriously is kind of where it's at right now. So for individuals or for families, like those kitchen dance parties are everything. Plus, I did start a YouTube channel called Find Your Element. Pardon me. So it's Find Your Element, and we've done mini body breaks on there. And mini samples of martial arts sessions that you can do in 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And sometimes it's just like having someone tell you what to do. Okay, you're going to do 10 jumping jacks. Okay, you're going to do fast feet. Okay, this is how you're going to shadow box. Like you're going to pretend like you're in your own Cobra Kai series and this is what you're going to be doing. And you get to think of yourself as like Johnny or Danielson or whatever it is that you want to be right now, and nobody's watching you, and you get to be this own, like your own creator. I think as adults we don't play make believe, and we don't like we just keep taking ourselves too seriously, and I think that's half the problem when it comes to our mental health and thinking outside the box. And I think right now it's about being silly, it's about dancing, it's about doing all the things that bring us back to the happy memories of our childhood.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think some of the key things that I picked up when you said it was fun and laughter and joy. And I think these things, there are no restrictions on these things. But I think just because we are our headspace is such that I think we have forgotten to laugh almost and to be able to just just have fun, to just have a dance party in the kitchen. I think that's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. The other question I wanted to ask you is, as I said, you're the owner of Five Elements Martial Arts. What does martial arts looks like these days? I know what martial arts probably looked like pre-COVID, but what does it look like right now as we're in this pandemic?
It's pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty weird. I feel like I'm an ancient samurai, like just training by myself, like trying to find a space to like practice my moves and like get my muscles all feeling good. And like it's a lot of self-training. I do have a facility, so I'm blessed to be able to train inside the facility, but everything is, you know, independent training. We're not allowed to have group classes right now. We're not allowed to you know, embrace each other's energy and the good vibes of the studio and pushing each other and encouraging each other and having the feedback from one another. Like, unless you have a heavy bag at home, I mean, you're basically punching the air, which for martial arts right now, I think it's a time that we can focus on more technical stuff. So we can focus on how we throw punches or how our footwork is or how we move or how we sit into things or how we tone our bodies in different ways. So we've just kind of pivoted to the fundamentals and the foundation of martial arts. And I've kind of decided to do a lot more of cross training than I have just sticking to one specific discipline. So because I can teach and I have black belts in kickboxing and Muay Thai and karate and self-defense and taekwondo, I've tried to kind of add all the different elements together to try to have a little bit of fun and to create some fun videos for people to do, you know, with their families or on their own right now.
And all of this people are able to find on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's called Find Your Element, or you can check our website at fiveelementscalgary.com. So fiveelementscalgary.com will have links to our YouTube channel, and you can find us on Instagram at 5elementsma, or you can find me on Instagram as well, Maeghen Cotterill. And we're going to try to keep it fresh and fun and funky and give everyone some fun little upbeat videos. And yeah, hopefully tell a couple jokes and laugh and be ninjas.
Yeah, that's right. It's important. The one thing that we see a lot of people struggling, Maeghen, is with this idea of being restricted to our own homes right now and not able to visit friends and family. I think I personally struggle with it a little bit as well. But what are some things that you can share with us that we could do virtually to stay connected with our family members? I know before this we're talking, there's so many things we could do to stay connected with our loved ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, even though it is a pivot and it's hard and change is really hard right now because I feel like it's never ending and overwhelming and all consuming. But I have done some really fun workout classes via Zoom with some girlfriends, which has been really, really fun. I have a girlfriend, Sarah Hocko, who is part of the Expert Connect as well. She owns Hocko Fitness. She teaches a bunch of classes at my studio as well. And you know, both myself and other friends have all zoomed in, or we can all talk to each other. And some of us will kind of set up our phones so we can have separate conversations while we're working out. And we can hear each other singing along to like all the aerobics and all the different songs on the playlist. And we get a chance to kind of be silly together. That's been one thing. I've also kind of started some mini book clubs with some friends. So ones that I can read. I don't even know if I have. I don't. I'm starting to read Ali Wong's new book. It's so good. It's so funny. But having friends that you can listen to audiobooks with or read together, talk about the books, or someone that you can watch like a really cool Netflix series with.
Yeah.
So I just finished like watching a Netflix kind of episode about ancient Egypt. And I love ancient history and being able to find other people that are into the same shows as you. So you can text them or pick up the phone or being like, okay, what episode are you on? Like, let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. I think is really, really helpful to still stay connected and giving each other reasons to talk about things other than how kind of bummed you are and how frustrated you're feeling. Like, I'd rather do the Zoom class and giggle with my friends because I'm terrible at aerobics, especially in my socks and terrible workout wear in my basement. So my girlfriends get to laugh at like my lame outfits while we, are trying to stay coordinated, which is super hilarious. But
Right.
yeah, like you get to talk about, your fitness classes. You get to talk about the books that you're reading or the podcasts that you're listening to or things like that. And it creates some fun new conversations. And I think kind of one of the other things that has really kind of cheered me up is deciding what kind of charity or initiatives you want to start or pursue with people that you love and care about. So different, not-for-profit projects or charity projects where you can get together and have these really great proactive meetings and discussions with people, even just virtually, about how to help your community and how to help other people and what you actually can do right now. Like,
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I still get overwhelmed thinking about all the things that I can't or I'm not allowed to do. And I mean, I'm not good with being told what to do as it is, or I don't do so well with being told no. But I mean, in these times, I respect the guidelines. I respect what, the governments are trying to do. I respect that we're trying to do what we all think is right and caring and compassionate to one another. But sometimes just coming up with solutions or activities or problem solving really helps to boost my mood and make me feel not so stuck and stagnant and just negative and like stuck in it.
Right.
And I think those are the main things that have really kind of like helped me come out of some really bad days and some really bad moods and a lot of anxiety and trying to problem solve and sort things out.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's beautiful because truly there is no magic wand that anybody can wave. I think it's just we have to decide what we are going to do, what is in our control, how are we going to feel that way that day, and what are we going to do. So having a Zoom call with your friends and not talking about how sucky it is, and maybe just talking about a book that we're going to read or whatever it is beautiful advice.
Yeah.
And Megan, as an entrepreneur, what advice would you have for other entrepreneurs out there?
Don't beat yourself up. You don't suck. Like, being an entrepreneur right now, I have to admit, is pretty ridiculous at the moment. I seriously fangirl so hard over every single entrepreneur that just keeps trying. I actually had a meeting with my staff the other day, and we were all just kind of trying to figure out how to move forward with new restrictions and guidelines, how to keep the business open and running, how to take care of all of our clients and our students, and how to still check in with them and keep in touch and keep them engaged. And my staff was really frustrated because we like working face to face. Like, we need that energy connection. We need to, like, we thrive off of reading our students and reading the classroom and figuring out the needs of our students emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically. But the best way we do that as instructors is face to face and in person. And I kind of had to cry, and I looked at them and I said, we're going to try absolutely everything possible that we can brainstorm on this piece of paper. We're going to take this time right now as a science experiment. You don't come up with the perfect experiment the first time that you try something. Like, I'm pretty sure when they were figuring out the first light bulb, they probably sucked at it like 73 times and it failed a gazillion times before it actually worked that one time. And for me, I'm like, I think the biggest regret for entrepreneurs right now is not trying. I think it is a success if you just keep taking those baby steps and trying one more little thing, Google one more thing, ask one more question, brainstorm another solution, even if it's super ridiculous. And, don't worry about having all the right answers. Like, one thing I've learned since March is it's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know. And it's okay to say, you know what, I'm going to find out, or I'm going to ask questions, or I'm going to try something. And if it fails, it fails. But I'm going to try to learn from that failure as hard as I can and keep moving forward. And, asking for forgiveness too. Hey guys, that didn't work. I'm really sorry. I was really, really hopeful. I'm going to try again. And I think also for entrepreneurs too, not forcing things when you are overworked and overwhelmed and not sleeping well, and you're just exhausted. It's okay to put something to the side, get some rest, switch your mind off, concentrate on something different, and then come back to it the next day. It's not going to burn to the ground in 24 hours. Right. And I think also for entrepreneurs, and what I've learned as well, is to try not to be so reactionary. Giving myself time to breathe, be rational, calm down, and not be so reactionary when it comes to having to immediately respond or immediately problem solve or immediately come up with a perfect solution. Just let it sit for a little while, take a breath, and see what your gut says. Sometimes wait 24 to 48 hours. But entrepreneurs, mad respect. Mad respect.
That is right. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Megan. That was truly beautiful advice that you've given us. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful episode and sharing so much good stuff with us. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching this episode. And we will be coming back with more exciting episodes. So stay tuned, and thank you so much.